Hey, it's Mike DelVisco. We're out here live from the lake finally. The last couple of these I've done them at home in the studio because of weather, but we've had a little break. I'm traveling on the road. I'm up here in West Bend, Wisconsin, of all places, and fishing a kind of a little favorite lake that I've got. And thought I'd do a little thing on finesse jig fishing today. You know, and it's all different types of jigs that we have to go fish with, and it's one of my favorite types of lures to go catch a bass. And the thing about a jig is that they're so versatile. There's so many different kinds. If you just want to simply, you know, go run down the bank and go cast a jig, well, we've got a jig to do that. If you want to go offshore and fish deeper stuff, rock piles, drop-offs, ledges, points, deep stuff, summertime fishing, football jig, there's a jig for that. If you like to fish shallow, heavy water, heavy cover, lily pads, grass, reeds, boat docks, things like that, a big giant 3/4 ounce or 1 ounce jig, we got a jig for that. But what about if you want to do something just a little bit different? What about if you want to fish a little lighter presentation? One, if you're fishing in a lake like we're fishing today, where, you know, really deep clear water, little grass edges, things like that, now you need another jig for that. Finesse jig. This is a Terminator finesse jig. This one's a 1/4 ounce, and they also make a 3/16, and I'm fishing it on a bait casting rod, because you can get away with that with the 1/4 ounce jig. It's heavy enough that you can still fish it, but you need a fairly light outfit. This is a Ducket Fishing White Ice 2. It's a 7'1" medium action rod. It's a little bit different action, and it's a little spongier tip than, say, like a Micro Magic 7-foot medium action, and it's a rod that I like when I'm fishing this lighter stuff. Maybe I'm going down to, you know, 12-pound test fluorocarbon line instead of like a 14 or a 17. I've got to downscale a little bit. Perfect rod for being able to do that. You can also fish the finesse jig on a spinning rod too. I like it equally as well. Maybe if I'm going to go down to the 3/16 ounce size, that's what I'm going to do. So pick your equipment accordingly, pick the jig accordingly, and I keep colors really simple too. You know, I don't go too crazy with, you know, all different types of colors. You know, I'm fishing some basic, you know, green pumpkin blue shades. This one right here is like a peanut butter jelly color. That one's awesome too. That's another one that I've got in my box here. And then, you know, of course, you need a black and blue finesse jig too. So keep things really simple. I'm matching my trailers, you know, the same. So, you know, that green pumpkin to that green pumpkin blue finesse jig, green pumpkin trailer, black and blue, I'll put a black and blue trailer. And I'm fishing a Yamamoto double tail trailer on the back of this, which gives it a really nice gliding action through the water. I don't want to overpower this bait. This is a finesse jig, remember that. And I just kind of want it to glide along the bottom, glide along, fish it really kind of easy, really slow, just put along. It's not a you know, one of those techniques that is really power oriented. I'm just really letting this jig do the work. I don't want to work it too much, which is one of the reasons why I fish with this light rod, because I don't want to pull the bait too aggressively. I want to let it do the work. And I've already been out here this morning and caught a few fish, and hopefully we might get an opportunity to catch one here. I know the wind's blowing a little bit, so if I can get in position, stay in position, we might have a chance to go catch one. But you know, just remember that, to let the jig do the work for you, and you'll be better off. So where to fish this thing? You fish it all around. We're fishing predominantly just little weed edges that drop off from, you know, 4 to 5 foot into about 7 to 8, then down to 10, 11. That's where I'm fishing it, but it's really good around riprap. You can fish it around boat docks. You can fish it around points. You can even fish it around some scattered wood and brush piles. It's a really, really versatile jig. It's just a more compact jig than what you're probably used to. So finesse jig, really, really powerful tool all throughout the year, but especially here, summertime, 80-degree water temperature. This is a deal that I like to do all throughout the year, but especially now in the summertime. So we're gonna see how far it is. I've drifted off my little spot here, see if I can turn around, maybe make a couple casts and try to catch a fish or two for you guys, and then we'll kind of explain here what I'm doing. But I'm gonna make a couple casts, And you'll notice that when I'm actually fishing, I'm not moving this bait too much. I'm letting the bait do all the work. I'm kind of letting it glide down. And one thing you want to pay attention to as well is the opportunity for that fish to eat this bait on the way down. So you'll see me do a couple of things with my casting technique that I'm doing, and I'm kind of following this bait down. I'm going to go ahead and make a cast here real quick. And what I tend to do most of the time is I'm going to have my finger on the front of this line right here, and I'm feeling that bait go down. And when I'm feeling that bait go down, a lot of times they'll bite it on the way down. So I want to be ready when that happens. Once it gets to the bottom, I'm just simply pulling the bait along. I'm not making a real aggressive movement to that fish. I'm pulling it along, and I'm just kind of feeling it on the bottom. They will bite this bait. It's not a horribly aggressive bite a lot of times. They'll eat it and they'll hang on to it for quite a bit. And I'm letting the bait do all the work. We'll see if we can get back in. There's one right there. That didn't take long at all. That bait was pretty much just sitting right there down on the bottom. And that was the first cast. There you go. It's as easy as that with a finesse jig. There you go. Pretty nice little fish. And I'll tell you what, one thing that you guys can do is just pay attention to that. I was hardly moving that bait, and that's when that fish bit it. So try not to overwork your baits a lot of times. Just give it a little, just very, very little motion, and you'll be fine fishing your jigs. So I'll tell you what, tonight, Texas Roadhouse, West Bend, Wisconsin. I'm going to be there at the store tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. Doing a meet and greet, giving some stuff away, and I will absolutely be giving away 2 of these Terminator finesse jigs in the tackle pack that we're going to be giving away tonight. West Bend, Texas Roadhouse here in Wisconsin. Mike DelVisco. I'll see you there. We'll catch you tonight.